Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Boy, did they ever win on Saturday. Victory Monday, and we'll have it for you here on 94.3 The Game with the PJ Show and with the Inside Pirate Athletics program coming up top of the hour, and, of course, across the ECU Sports Network. East Carolina, and they have announced a game time for the BYU game, 7:30 on the 20th. How about that? Pilk, I thought I would pull another double, but I don't think I'm going to be able to that day because Coach has taken the grandkids to Wallace Wade for State Duke. And if they were playing at noon, I would go to spend time with my dad and with my nephews because it's the youngest one's first football game, as a fan. And then get back to Greenville in enough time, plenty of time actually, to spare. But it's going to be 7:30, so my goal is to be in cush seating for the BYU game.
Not even
that's my
there's
goal.
Not enough caffeine in the world to have Patrick up at 11 p.m.
No, I'll go to the one game. I can't pull two off that day, but I'll go to one. It's just I need to be in cush seating. So any of you out there that need a date to the game, consider taking someone who's mildly funny, certainly attractive enough, and little iced coffee here. Gosh, I need it. All right.
Wait, I got a quick
welcome to the.
though. Does
yes, I have a quick answer.
Does Coach have Duke season tickets? Like this will already be his second game he's going to. We're going to one in mid-October when the Pirates are off.
Yeah, he has access. I'll just say that.
Okay.
They get some kind of tickets. He and my mom do, but I'm not sure what it is. But they have access. I'll just say that.
Hey, does this mean am I gonna reap those benefits? I just thought we were gonna buy tickets and sit somewhere, but
I don't know. Because I look, I'm spoiled now. There's only certain places I will sit and watch a game now.
Well, if we're sitting in the normal people seats, I guess it's just me and Coach. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I think he'd get a kick out of that. I actually hope we can get decent ducats because you'd love to be with Coach during a game.
Oh, yeah.
See, the other thing is I had relatives.
We already talked about
right.
going.
I had relatives from Illinois who were in town.
Yeah,
and I had not seen some of them in over 25 years. So it was nice to see them. Anyway, nobody's tuning in for that. We're going to talk some ECU. We're going to talk some Panthers, must we, with Jim Szoke. Panther talk coming up at 7 o'clock here on 94.3 The Game. There's a couple of things, the old adage, college kickers, man. Well, how about pro kickers? At least as of 4 o'clock yesterday, and I really don't know what happened and I don't know what happened last night. I went to bed with Buffalo actually up and then woke up in the middle of the night because that's what I do and saw where the Ravens were up, 21 to 15 or something? I mean, or 21 to 7?
15 at one time. In the fourth
up by
quarter,
15,
they were up
okay.
by 15. I think it was 40.
It was it was like 40 to 25, yeah. And they got beat. And I mean, what a wild comeback. And probably the best game of the regular season in a long time. I can't think of another. The only one I can think of that might be as exciting. Remember, was it the Washington game last year where the ball kind of on a Hail Mary? Yeah, against the Bears, deflected into that was a hell of a finish. This was pretty good too, apparently. And then you go back and watch it on NFL Network or whatever. But, we say college kickers. But as of 7 yesterday, Pilk, there had been 7 missed field goals and 4 missed PATs in the games the whole weekend.
Yeah, I think your boy William Grover's Browns had missed about half of those you just named.
But, I mean, it's just, we say – and this, I was listening to something yesterday where it was talking about you don't know how these teams are going to perform with each other, how they're going to play, because they would be playing the regulars would be playing in a lot of cases for the first time, meaningful snaps because nobody plays in the preseason anymore. And you know what ends up happening, Pilk, is they The kickers. I think the kickers just weren't sharp. We're not sharp.
Most of them you thought would have played, though, in the preseason.
I know, but that's just such a weird. And then, Joey Football's not going to like this, but I actually was I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan on any level, but I did think it was kind of cool yesterday that he kind of came in and exacted some revenge and threw 4 touchdowns, and I thought looked good. I thought he actually looked really good.
I thought he did.
So maybe this
honestly, that even I would maybe it was argued was better than the night game in and through.
In a way, yeah.
Good, but there for a while, I was like, "Ooh, do we go to bed?" I thought about it.
And then I'm going to say this, and I was listening to a guy today who's a big Giants fan, who's on a national show, but it's not sports, and he was like, I knew as soon as Daniel Jones got with Indy, he'd put up those kind of numbers. And, if you think about it, Daniel Jones had an offensive line. He didn't have to run for his life. You see what he did. I still could. He's going to be fine. He's going to end up finding a home, whether it's Indy or somewhere else. And I'm not saying he's going to be an all-time great, but he will be a very serviceable, capable quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he'll have to have the team around him. I don't think he's not going to go out there and win games for you, but you can win games in spite of having him on your roster or as your starter. And
you just need to have a line. You need to give him time. Had a pretty good line when he was at Duke his last couple of years.
Yeah, he did.
All right. We're going to talk to Szoke about because of the Panthers thing. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it was amazing. I didn't have to indulge in adult beverages last night after that one.
It was awful.
Willie B got a decent finish in the race. Maybe that's what saved me. The Red Sox won. Maybe that's what saved me. I don't know.
But this is not. But the Panthers thing was embarrassing. And you have the delay where you think, okay, let's make some adjustments, guy. And it's early-ish in the second quarter when that delay rolls in. But clearly at that point, you've got to be able to say, okay, guys, I don't think this is working. So instead of waiting till halftime, or just make some adjustment. How about that? Why don't we just make an adjustment? Outcoached, outplayed.
Yeah. Seriously. I don't know if we're jumping the gun on this 5 at 5 thing.
Okay, well, let's do the top 5 at 5. I'm sorry, Coke. I'm sorry. My mistake.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard. Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All righty. Well, since actually we're going to flip it up here. Sorry to flip it up on you there, DeMarco. We're going to lead with the Panthers since PJ was already on it. So here is Dave Canales talking about how he thought his team fought well there at the end.
Fought.
I'm proud of the guys for finishing. I'm proud of them for continuing to play. But they know as well as I know that's not good enough. But it was a good chance to just look at them in the eye and say, look, this is where we are at right now. And we got to look at the tape. We have to grow from this.
Who is he, John Thompson? We're fighting. We're winning. We're scrapping. We're fighting. We're fighting.
They didn't.
Okay. You heard that. Canales looks like a runway model. Are you confident now after hearing him say that and then watching them yesterday?
It's week 1. It is week 1. It wasn't pretty, but I'm not. When I say I'm confident, no, I haven't been confident of this team since like 2015.
The Jaguars.
I know. Honestly,
who they made look like contenders.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Patrick. But if you're asking if I'm confident, specifically the word confident, the Carolina Panthers have been to 2 Super Bowls, and most of those 2 years, I was not even confident. Okay, do you know how much they scratch and clawed to Super Bowl 38? Yes, they benefited from an easy schedule in 2015. There were some games, just specific games.
Cam was the MVP.
Cam was the MVP, but I wasn't confident going to the playoffs, having to beat Seattle a second time. I can tell you that. So, look, I've never been confident in this team, but I get what you're asking here. Do I think Canales is the guy still? Look, he's gotten the best out of each quarterback everywhere he's been, whether you look at Geno, whether you look at Baker. I'm still going to –
Those guys could play.
I know, but Bryce didn't have time
Those
to throw the ball.
guys weren't 5'4".
That's true, but look, he didn't have time to throw the ball. Look,
well, the offensive line sucks.
Yeah. he made some bad throws, but he also made some good decisions, good throws. There was the one Renfro that was underthrown, but had he not had to throw off his back foot, it would have hit him perfectly in stride. Just a young quarterback has to realize you have to put extra oomph on it when you're having to throw off your back foot, but at least he put it in position. I mean, overall, look, I think Carolina made like 5 or 6 mistakes in that game, and those 5 or 6 mistakes happen to always come at bad times, always be amplified. It was bad, but it was not the worst game they've played in the last year, 2 years.
Saying a lot.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so fourth straight year now that they are 0-1.
Sure, hell,
that right?
I don't know. I guess.
And then who do we have this weekend?
Arizona, who didn't look like world beaters.
They didn't look like world beaters, but they still won.
Yeah.
You know, I think anytime you come west to east, it's tough. And I know they really weren't coming west to east, but I mean, you know, in a way they
still
were, Arizona.
Kickoff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think that's a little bit of that, but they won. Las Vegas, 9 a.m. kickoff, but they won. Or 10 a.m. kickoff, but they won. So, I mean, you know. How about Green Bay? Can I revise my pick of who's going to be the top seed in the NFC? I'm going to go Green Bay now.
Look, they did look good, but, hey, first-time coordinator on both sides of the ball for Detroit. It's tough when you've got a brand new offense and defense coordinator to go on the road, especially there and win. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say anything from Green Bay. They played a damn near flawless game, but I picked Green Bay, and I felt pretty confident in that one. Just a lot of turnover there for the Lions. It's going to take them 2 or 3 weeks. We saw it last year with Baltimore. They started out 2-2. It took them a couple weeks.
I went the under on the Panthers-Jags, by the way.
What was
so
it?
I got a little I think it was 40s, upper 4. Might have been, I think it was.
What was there?
Yeah, it was like 48, 49.
26-10, was that the final?
Yeah, so I went under. Went under. All right, look, we'll talk to Szoke about it. All right, number 2.
We're going to go on to the Pirates now. Blake Harrell just talks about how they got the ball to 15 different receivers and how he liked getting so many guys in the game.
Some individual performances that we can build on, but the biggest thing, I think we had 15 receivers with one catch or more. I don't know if that's a school record or not, maybe.
Still, I think it is.
But just the fact that we get all those guys in the ball game, get those guys involved on both sides of the football, I think is pretty valuable to our team and helps our locker room moving forward.
The Malcolm Gray cameo there, which Malcolm's not here yet. I wonder where he is. Of course, we might have an answer to where Malcolm is when we hit number 3. All right.
Yeah. Do we want to hear?
Look.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Here, let's talk about the game a little bit. And I was going to talk to Coach Harrell about this tonight. I thought East Carolina did an outstanding job of not playing the opponent. And how many times, especially in these FCS games or 1AA games as they once were, in the Mike Houston era or even in the Scotty Moe era, that they came out flat against that kind of opponent. Many times.
Yeah.
I didn't think the team was flat. I thought they were fired up and ready to go. And I thought they had great focus. And they are the superior team athletically, so they should have won, and they did.
I thought so.
And I was really impressed with the defense.
Yeah. One drive.
To hold, outside of one drive.
But, hey, you can live with that. Yeah. I said I could live. I was going to live with the starters giving up one scoring drive, and I could live with that.
Yeah, we felt like if it was going to be whatever to 14, it's a victory, and obviously it was only 3 points. So yeah, I love what was the guy 6 killer?
6 killer, yeah. Camden 6 killer.
Is that his?
It's his real name.
Is that his rap name?
No, his real name, last name, SIXKILLER, and he wore number 6.
Well, of course. What are we doing if he's not? If 6 killer's not wearing 6, what are we doing here?
I know.
But look, I hope there's a nice crowd in here tonight, and even better, let's give everybody. Pilk, you were very critical of the students. Let's give the students a little something
that
here.
Student section was full. It didn't stay full.
And energetic.
Okay. Yeah.
It was energetic. And I'm going to my challenge is not only for the students, but for all of the nation. Pirate Nation, as John Thompson, since we've already invoked the now owner of a haberdashery's name today. Let's have it full of energy, not empty at the top sections in the middle. Let's have it all the way full because it's a 7:30 game against what will probably be a nationally ranked opponent.
It will. I mean, what it's going to be because they're not going to lose their ranking this week by not playing, I don't think. I don't think there's enough teams to jump them. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have anything to say about the game?
No, look, I still think we need to do a little better job getting to the next level, run blocking. But to your point, we didn't play to the opponent, or didn't play down to the opponent, didn't play the opponents, played the game, did things the right way. Tackling still improved a little better, but I did think both those things I just mentioned, we got better in from week 1 to week 2. That's crucial. I loved the play of Chasten Ditto. That was an NFL caliber throw on that touchdown. That back shoulder fade is the hardest thing to throw in all of football. That looked like a pro quarterback right there. I mean, I know he's a true freshman. I'm not ready to enshrine him in Canton by any means, but the kid's got a lot of potential.
Pump the brakes.
I know. No, I'm just saying.
The brakes,
I thought it was good. Are we ready to go on? Do we want to hear Caton's kind of talking the same thing? That,
yeah, let's hear that
Caton thing real quick, and then we'll go on to number 3. So, all right, DeMarco. All right.
We said it from the jump. We had a lot of guys that can go out and make plays, and that's an example of it. Putting the ball in 15 different guys' hands, scoring 56 points. I mean, this goes to show how talented we are offensively for sure.
All right.
Well, and look, did we ever get confirmation today? Is that a record? I know Malcolm was going to look that up.
I don't know if we ever got the confirmation or not.
He may have been a little busy today, and we're about to tell you why.
Yeah,
oh, there he is. He just walked in.
So the reason why Malcolm was a little busy is
number 3.
Yeah, number 3. All right. Eddie Love Jr., Pirate true freshman running back, has been dismissed from the team. He was arrested in the early hours of Saturday morning. The 18-year-old broke into a Ford Explorer and a Hyundai Elantra and then ran from police. He also gave them a fake name before running. He was later released on a $10,000 bail.
If your name is Eddie Love and nobody knows who you are, Eddie Love Jr., what fake name do you reckon he gave them? Buddy Love? Like from Nutty Professor?
Yes, sir.
This is Buddy, or Dr. Love, like the Kiss song. You think he gave him, I'm Dr. Love? And here's the other question. When you let's can we bet out with Dr. Love? Can we make that happen?
Yeah.
Pilk? All right. You know, I hear you say early Saturday morning. Well, we're talking 10 a.m. So did he do this before or after the team breakfast?
I'm going to go on a limb and say this was I'm going to say that was late. I think that was the wee hours of Saturday morning.
No, it said it was 10 a.m. It said it was 10 a.m. Yeah, he had gloves on, apparently. Latex gloves.
Yeah,
you read from the article here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always Anonymous text line, the only football worse than the Panthers is Campbell. Well, you could make that argument for sure. You could make that argument absolutely for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Look, you're going to have boneheads, and that's just going to happen. And, you know, they've dismissed him from the team. So we'll see you later, Dr. Love. The Love Doctor.
All righty. Number 4.
No love for Eddie.
No love for
Yes,
Eddie.
I'm sorry. Number 4.
Number 4, we are going to hear about the lady who, if she won the lottery, was going to get Caitlin DeBoer fired with that money.
I tell you exactly what I'd do with the first $70 million. I'd pay off Kalen DeBoer and get him the heck out of the University of Alabama, and then I'd take whatever else it took to get rid of the AD. So I'd give him a church money.
Yeah, give your church some money.
She's going to pay her tithes.
Yeah, there's a good Christian woman there.
Yeah.
Good Christian woman there. She was going to pay her tithes, but, you know, before that, she's going to get DeBoer the hell out of Tuscaloosa.
And the AD. I love it.
Oh, that's so good.
Was it $1.2 billion, or is that what the Powerball was up to?
You know, no, it was 1.8. It was almost $2 billion.
Yeah, I think she'd even after taxes, she'd have and paying the church, she'd have her $70 million to
yes after tithe. Yes. So they had 2 winners. They had one in Texas and one in Missouri.
Nobody from North Carolina ever wins.
No, it doesn't seem like it. My granddad, Mr. PK, played it earlier in one of the early drawings and won. I mean, nothing huge, but a little bit of money.
There you go.
He'd be very upset if I said this on the public airwaves. He'd be very upset because he would
got himself
think.
a nice dinner. Got himself a nice dinner. That's all it was.
He split it with my grandma, which is
there you go. Took her
good
out
man.
for a nice dinner.
Maybe so. Maybe so. I think that's fantastic. By the way, that's just awesome. What would you do with if you'd want it? But what's the first thing you're doing?
I think I would go ahead and pay off my parents' house, grandma's house, make sure everybody's set.
Okay.
You know, pay my.
So you're a good boy.
And then, and then
Yes.
after that,
Me? You'd never. I'd be on an island that I would own. You'd never see. You'd never hear from me again.
You guys would see me sitting in the box next to Tay-Tay at the Super Bowl is what you'd see me at.
Hopefully, I'd be in the box with you.
Yeah, actually, you know what? They're not going this year. I'm gonna be in the box with Haley Steinfeld because Josh Allen.
Yeah, they're not going this year. They are not going this year. All right, number 5 here. As we continue
number
on.
5. Look, I'm just gonna let the clip talk for itself. We're gonna talk about Philly Karen. Here we go. Hit it, baby.
Was an old lady who lived in a shoe, and if you're a kid on your birthday, she'll steal a home run ball from you. And while many may believe this behavior is silly, it's actually quite common if you're a sports fan from Philly. The nasty old Karen wanted the baseball so bad, she ran through the whole stadium and berated the dad. And the dad gave up the ball to the dismay of his boy. The Karen did what Karens do. She stole all the joy. Both teams and their fans saw her wreck all the fun. Everyone who witnessed it knew what must be done. The Marlins sent a gift bag, and a short while later, the boy and his family met Harrison Bader. The nasty old Karen was booed out of the game, and now the whole world will soon know her name. From her hair to her glasses to her life that is so barren, the moral of the story is don't be a Karen.
I love it.
I don't know that guy's name, but it's the guy who does the Trump impressions, and that was just a great little poem that he did. And I'll tell you this. In Philadelphia, that will be a Halloween costume this year. Philly Karen.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can throw her right next to Philly throwing snowballs at Santa Claus and Philly throwing D batteries to the opposing team.
She's worse.
I don't know.
Well, that's
hit
pretty
by
bad.
D battery might hurt.
That might hurt, yeah.
Baseball stolen, yeah.
What an awful person. What a terrible person she is.
Yeah.
That was great, though. The little poem was really fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
That was excellent. So I thought that was great. All right, Pilk. Anything else? Well, I guess we're going to get props to the Phillies and to the Marlins for doing something for that kid.
Yeah, the only other thing I had until we doubled up on an ECU story, which is way more important, Alcaraz wins the U.S. Open over center. That was a good, solid match. Sabalenka won the women's.
Did you watch?
Yeah, I did. I had 4 screens up yesterday between Red Zone, race, Panthers.
How are the commercials on the Red Zone?
They were quick. They were really quick. It was good.
30 second, 15 second?
15 or 30 seconds, yeah. So that was good.
Okay. So you can live with that?
I can live with it. It's just not the same not hearing 7 hours of commercial free football. You don't get that chill down your spine anymore.
What did he say? Did he say 7 hours of commercials with some football?
I don't know. Yeah, because I had that muted, the Panthers game on. So.
Oh, okay.
I'll
wish you
know
had
next week when the Panthers play at 4.
Let me know. All right, let's, speaking of Panthers, hear from Jim Szoke. Do we have Dr. Love? Do we have that? Oh, there we go. The Love Doctor. No longer part of the operation. Don't look at me like that, David Horn. All right, we're coming back right after this timeout with Jim Szoke. We are at Tiebreakers. And we are rocking and rolling on this Monday. Victory Monday for the Pirates.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. You get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
Okay, back at Tiebreakers here, 94.3 The Game, Patrick Johnson Show. We have Inside Pirate Athletics coming your way a little bit later on tonight. And also later on in the big program, or on the station tonight later on, will be Panther Talk. Our next guest will be on that tonight. He is the only Jim Szoke joining us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Hello, Jim. How are you?
Doing well, Patrick. How's your Monday?
Jim, I'll just answer that the simple way without getting into any sort of explanation. Just say, fine.
Oh, okay. You know what? You'd be good to
fine.
That's like good head coaching material at the podium kind
of
talk there.
Yeah, fine. On to Cincinnati. So which one do you want to start with first here?
Let's get the Panthers out of the way, shall we?
You know, to me, Jim, it comes back to one thing. The offensive line it's not, and I'm not a Bryce Young guy on any level. I think it was a terrible decision. But as it was kind of proven with Daniel Jones yesterday, you got to give somebody some time to actually be able to. Now, he wasn't great, and I'm not saying that was the lone thing, but I mean, gosh, the offensive line, that's a problem.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I hate to say it, I always talk about doing your 1/11th. I feel like all 11 contributed to the loss at any time.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Because Bryce had his errors. Xavier Legette continues to not rise to the occasion, like just not getting his 2 feet in bounds on a pass. And that 4th and 1 at the goal line, he didn't run the right route, and that's why Bryce threw it into the stands. They just got thrown off for the whole route there. So that was not great. I will say T-Mac, the new first-round pick, Tedero McMillan, Chuba Hubbard, they played well. So I'll say 9 of the 11 probably weren't what they are up to be in there. And so Ike Ekwonu was out, which he's not spectacular, but he's your left tackle, and he knows how to play it well enough. It was a drop-off there at left tackle to get to your point about the offensive line. So there's definitely some improvement that needs to happen quickly.
So I ran out while the rain delay or lightning delay occurred. And so I got to listen to a little bit of you guys fill time. And I don't mean that to say, I don't mean that. I mean, you guys were doing your best and doing actually a very good job. But I mean, you were in the unenviable position of having to, talk around no game being on. And I heard you talk about, it was a great line about, it's like one of those tandem practices where, okay, we'll stop, make adjustments, and then go, the only problem is it didn't seem like there were any adjustments that were made out of that hour and 15-minute delay.
We actually played worse out of the break, as I recall. So we were down 10-3.
Right.
I guess.
I mean, that's what I mean. It just, it seemed like the Jaguars did. And do you think Jacksonville will be a little better than last year? I mean, I know it's week 1 and we're overreacting to everything, but I mean, just what you saw. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think first of all, I didn't think Trevor Lawrence looked any better. That was kind of surprising. And of course, they didn't have to throw the ball. They ran for 200. So Travis Etienne, we made him look like Barry Sanders yesterday. So they didn't have to so much. But even when Trevor Lawrence did throw, I was like, they kept talking about Liam Cohen working on his footwork. Of course, they had Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown. And they've got the great Brian Thomas, like 1,400 yards last year. And so he figured he's got weapons, but he was missing the target on a lot of those throws. So he was not great. And, of course, through that pick, a really good interception, but an interception to J.C. Horn. So that needs to improve for their season to get better. Defensively, they got 2 great edge rushers. Otherwise, they were really bad on defense. We were the 2 worst defenses last year. So overall, the defense wasn't good, but they do bring pressure. So I think, they're going to be better. I don't know if they're even a playoff team this year, but they'll improve. And I still contend the Panthers will. I mean, went 5-12 last year. People ask me, what's the expectation? I go, I'm not putting a number on it, but I think marginally improved. And I kind of think the same for Jacksonville, like 2 teams that'll, climb up a little bit and try to strive for mediocrity this year, and then hope to maybe make something happen next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at this Panthers thing, do you feel like you can see, okay, we have a plan. Let's improve on last year this year. I mean, you say that, but I mean, is that, from what you could tell and see, is that truly the plan?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're being incremental about it. I think they're being realistic about where they are. As I tell people, it's like we're not loaded with Pro Bowl players here. When healthy, Derek Brown is one of the better ones. J.C. Horn is a solid guy at a corner spot who got to go to the Pro Bowl last year. But I mean, we're not loaded with that kind of talent here. So I think at some point you need to have those guys. I mean, you think back 10 years ago, and granted, it was a team that went to the Super Bowl, but you just had this laundry list that we could go on forever about with Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis and Cam Newton and Greg Olsen. I mean, just the list went on and on. Ryan Khalil. I mean, you could name 10 guys that were Pro Bowl caliber players. We don't have that, and it's like that takes time to build and find and so forth. So I don't see it being right now that team is like this solid mix of veteran guys and some promising young guys, but not talent to that level that they had back in the day.
What do you think of Travis Hunter, Zoe?
Not much in that game, but it was his first game. I think they're figuring him out. He had 6 catches, 33 yards. I still don't know how he's going to play much defense. He played 6 snaps on defense. And you do enough football all the time too. And it's like, when the defense comes off the field, the offense comes on. So he goes out there, he plays offense. He's missing all that time. They communicate, talk about the series, look to changes they're going to make on the bench with the headsets on and talking with their defensive coaches. I don't know how he can do that. It's a different thing at Colorado than the NFL. I mean, there's the physical aspect, but then there's the how's he going to know what they're doing? They're going to yell at him as they run out to the huddle. I mean, I just don't see how it's possible. Travis, cover 3. Okay. I don't see how this is going to work.
The great Jim.
He just stays on the field, or maybe he does the special teams. It just never comes off. But it's just in high school. I mean, it's Colorado. This is not the same thing. It's just a difficult, very minutia. You're playing, you're now going to go guard, Malik Neighbors or whoever. I mean, I just don't see it that work in the big picture.
And as you know, next week there's going to be a lot of adjustments made this week going into next week. So
yeah, it's a saying for a reason. Week 1 to week 2, teams figure themselves out. Week 1, win or lose, and make changes. And now it's like, to me, I hate to be this way. You don't ever want to just watch the first game. I mean, half the teams win, half lose. But you really do, whether you won or lost. You're figuring out a lot of stuff that you never had an opportunity in camp or preseason game to figure out.
Yeah. Do you think the way that camp is now, where the starters virtually don't play, this has kind of contributed the preseason? I mean, is this maybe contributed to, some things not maybe for certain teams being all singing from the same hymnal, as they say?
100%. A smart team would be the one that just, knock on wood, stays healthy and goes out there and does what they used to do a quarter, do 2 quarters, and then used to be like you would do 2 and then into the third quarter just to get that come out of the halftime locker room part of things. I feel like if a team did that, they might have a leg up on the rest of the NFL by doing that, because I get that you don't want to be that team that loses a critical player in one of those games. But couldn't that happen at literally any joint practice, any regular practice session? It's not that much different, because even though it's game setting, it's still not NFL regular season or, God forbid, playoff kind of speed out there. So it's still going to be like 80% speed, even in a preseason game. But yeah, to get your rhythm down, we didn't tackle well. You can't really practice tackling well in your practice because you don't do it much. You just got to catch and release, as I call it, like a fisherman when you're at practice. So I think you need to go out there and practice tackling, and I just don't think they get that in a real pro football sense without having the preseason games.
Mr. Jim Szoke is on the phone with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. What will be on, before we get to the Pirates, what will be on Panther Talk tonight? What we all talk about on the show, and you can hear it here at 7 o'clock on 94.3 The Game.
Yeah, it's Eugene, Anish, and me, and we'll have Coach Canales. But doing a lot of, talk about the retrospect of the 10 years ago, the Super Bowl team. I did an interview. Mm-hmm. This is actually timely by accident. Mike Tolbert from Coastal Carolina, former Coastal Carolina star Mike Tolbert, will be on with us as well. And the rest of us will just be chopping it up the rest of the time. No other current player guests or anything on this Monday.
Let me say, why don't you make that behind the enemy lines, Jim? There you go. Little duplicate work there.
David Horn. Yeah, I'll get that to David Horn. And
I think that would be the way to go behind the enemy lines.
You think, I like the way you think.
Yes. So I was going to tell you. Shane Gillis, the comic styling, he said Cam Newton dresses like a cartoon cat. That might be the best line I've heard. That's an amazing line.
He is. Yeah, he's like some character from I don't know if it's cartoon or like one of those Halloween movies or something like that. But yeah. All
right, we got to talk some Pirates here. Going to Myrtle Beach. Jim always loves when he goes down to Myrtle. I know he gets a little crazy, but here's the thing I kind of take from Saturday, Jim. They didn't play the opponent. They came out, or what I mean is they didn't come out flat. They came out a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and I think we saw that really from the beginning. Certainly. I would say throughout the game, but certainly 35-3 at halftime is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, and it's like it was everything you wanted. First thing is, because things happen, you want to win the game. So first thing is win the game, and they did. And as you said, they had it kind of put to bed at halftime, obviously, there. And then secondly, that gives you the opportunity, one, to work on things you needed to work on offense and defense, and then get reps for the backups. And boy, did they go deep into the bench. So a lot of guys got very valuable reps that they won't get the rest of the season in some cases. But also got you a chance to kind of, without as much pressure as like an NC State kind of game, get guys out there. And again, we had this conversation we talked about preseason with the Panthers, had the conversation with Coach Blake Harrell and some of the other coaches. What's it like now in this day of 40, 50, 60 new players on every roster? It's almost impossible to come out and feel like everybody's up to speed for game one, whether you're playing an FCS team or a Power 4 school. And, the coaches all said kind of the same things. Like any game you watched on television, like watch Texas, Ohio State. Neither quarterback looked very crisp, and that's number 1 versus number 3 that first weekend I'm talking about. And so it's like that's the transfer portal. That's the NIL. It's just hard to get a real sense of your team until you get a couple games into it.
Szoke, Caden Hauser continues to impress. 15 different receivers in the game catch passes, and Hauser missed some throws. But, again, to me, I think Caden was as sharp as he needed to be and could be, all things considered. And to me, it seemed like there was another building block towards what I think Hauser's going to have some games against other competition where he's really going to, be fantastic. And I have just a sense that might could be the case on Saturday. I'm hoping that's the case. I
agree. And I think even there, like we're seeing the emergence of a healthy Brock Spalding with Yannick Smith and Anthony Smith, the two tight ends, Cesario Riles and Connor, but still kind of, again, new players working in, Quez Petaway, trying to get him up to speed. Mike Wright, kind of the ways that they can use him, but we still haven't seen super big plays from those guys. I think those are coming. And then obviously, as we saw last year with John David Baker and like the Military Bowl and so forth, running the football consistently. I think between Montgomery, Gunn, Jenkins, and maybe, who knows, DeJuan Lacey at this point, they really got the backs there that they just got to consistently have that running attack. I mean, that's the piece that makes all the passing that much more dangerous is when they can consistently run that football and get the offensive line out there the way they want it to be.
And Szoke, I know we're a little short on time here, but, you can't, regardless of who the opponent, to hold someone to 4 yards rushing and 3 points. I mean, that's an amazing defensive effort. Again, I thought the defense even took more strides than they did against NC State. I mean, in other words, they took the strides going into game 2 and continue to play very impressively. I think the defense has been a really nice surprise through the first 2 games.
Now, there's some really, there's some things they're working through, but I think you got 2 really solid safeties with Jamarly Riddle and Tegan Wilk. And then up front, you got, especially in that interior defensive line, lots to work with in there. It makes it tough to run on and to get some pressure on the quarterback. I think, the corners are getting better every week. I think every week Sam Danka, Jackson Barker get to play inside linebacker. That's going to get them better and better. So it's coming together. And I think by the time, especially when we get to conference play, I think they'll really have things kind of settled in the way they want it to be.
All right, Jim, you got Coastal coming up. They got thumped by Virginia and did shut out Charleston Southern, but scored a mere 13 points. They're going to be fired up. I don't think there's any two ways about that, but I think there's going to be a lot of ECU fans in the stadium in Conway.
Yeah, well, we know preseason they filled out the allotment for the Pirate fans. The Pirate Nation always travels well, and that's why I love these regional games like this. And so there'll be a lot of purple out there with the teal. It'll be like a Hornets game, purple and teal. And then obviously you mentioned they struggled in the win. MJ Morris, the former Wolfpack quarterback, 3 picks in that game, no touchdowns. Yeah. Of course, Tim Beck is the head coach, former offensive coordinator for the Wolfpack. So certainly some familiar names for the fans to look at out there. But I think, for ECU, this is the kind of game, even though it's on the road, you really gotta get this win here, get some momentum. Got BYU coming up, but yeah, this is a tough place to go. Be a good one to get the win at Coastal in Conway.
Hey, Jim, thank you very much. Look forward to hearing you tonight at 7 o'clock here on 94.3 The Game with Panther Talk.
You got it. Thanks, Patrick.
All right, there he goes, our guy, Jim Szoke. I think Jim's resigned to the fact, Pilk, that your boys stink.
Yeah, we were talking about it Saturday night. We were hanging out after the game at halftime. It's rough. Maybe one person can be happy. Maybe Dom's Vikings will beat the Bears tonight as Dom walks in the room.
They're fired. They were having a pregame all day at Harry Carey's at Navy Pier. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yes,
Bears
party
fans
time.
Are ready, baby.
I think Ben Johnson's going to do a great job. I really do. All right, Pilk, because of the setup here and the things I got to do before the coaches show, are you good to take this puppy home for us today?
I got you.
Okay. All right. Tomorrow, Blake Harrell, 5 at 5, and we'll see about some other stuff. Henry Trevathan will be among the guests on Wednesday. And then, Bill, can you get somebody from soccer?
Yes, I talked to Cole Saturday night about getting coach. If I don't hear back from him by the morning, I'll send him a reminder text.
Okay. Very good. And then Brian North on Friday. So that's the lineup for the rest of the week. All right, we're hitting a break. Pilk will take you home, and then I'll greet you again top of the hour for Inside Pirate Athletics here from Tiebreakers in Greenville. Come on out and watch the show and be part of it. Eat the great food here at Tiebreakers, the burgers, the wings, the A to the Z, baby. All right, we're hitting a break. We're coming back, and Pilk will get you home. I'll talk to you in the morning on Talk of the Town, and back here at 5 for the PJ Show. Happy birthday to my mom, by the way, Pilk. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Johnson.
Mrs.
Happy
J,
belated
good
birthday
woman.
to the Big Hen.
Big Hen's birthday was yesterday, so there you go. All right, Pilk will take you home when we get back. Thanks.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
And now, the stunning conclusion. Why is everyone screaming? On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show as we get set to put a wrap on this one, as we also put a wrap on the Pirate victory over Campbell, tied for the 3rd largest in program history. The only 2 larger ones didn't even come against real universities. It was back in the 40s and 50s. The largest one came back in 59 against the Newport News Station when they won 74-0. So first largest one over a true university. Got to see a lot of different guys get in the game. 15 different players caught a pass, 4 different running backs got to score a touchdown, 3 different quarterbacks got to see action, including true freshman Chasten Ditta out of Texas. So just an all-around good game. Now they're going to play Coastal. Coastal has struggled this season. They just got absolutely throttled in the opener against the Virginia Cavaliers, who looked decent, I think, last week against State. They were able to move the ball, but really could not stop C.J. Bailey in that Wolf Puppy offense. And then Coastal, they followed it up by beating Charleston Southern 13-0. Obviously, we can't make fun of teams for not putting Charleston Southern away, as they almost did win in Dowdy here a few years ago with that 31-27 victory East Carolina had in that one. But Coastal, yeah, I just don't really know how good this offense is. It's kind of one of those situations where you look back at ECU from 2 years ago. If you've got two quarterbacks, it means you have none. And I don't think they have a true starter right now at quarterback. So we'll see. They've played both guys in both games. Their defense, a little different, reminds you a lot of ODU's from last year. They'll play. It's a 4-2-5, and it's not the 4-2-5 where they've got two strong safeties as a part of that five on the back end. It's like kind of three free safeties and two corners. So there could be some stuff available there in the box, but they're really going to stop the home run plays. Not going to be able to push the ball down the field as much. They can do three high with corners still sitting in the flats. So kind of a modified Tampa 2 in that mindset where you have corners in the flats, but you still have three high guys. So just some different things they can do there. They did run the ball pretty successful last week, but overall they run a Mike Leach style of offense. So, kind of spread it out, kind of a little bit of what ECU does to an extent, too. A lot of 3-by-1 stuff. They like to get the ball out on the perimeter, get in their playmakers' hands. So that's kind of what we're looking at for Coastal this year. Like I said, only 2 games in, so not a lot of film on them. They got some new coordinators and stuff. So I think the Chanticleers, whatever the heck a Chanticleer is, they're still trying to get it figured out down there in Conway, but they view, obviously, East Carolina as an opportunity to do that. They've had the same schedule as ECU, theoretically, right? They go on the road to an ACC program, host their group of 5, so they were able to build on from a tough opponent week 1 into week 2, and then now they feel like they can kind of show where they have truly improved. Now they're playing a fellow group of 5 school. I know fans don't like that term, but it is what it is, and we'll see how it goes Saturday. So our pregame coverage is going to be 2.5 hours this week. Just do that 7:30, kind of being an awkward start time. Network taking over at 6:30. They're going to do a full 2.5 hours. I will be out with a wedding, so PJ and Joey Football, along with Dom, will handle the pregame duties right here on 94.3 The Game. So tune in to that. And another 7:30 kicks. It's probably going to be the same kind of slate as far as time goes for that BYU game the following week. Steven and I will be back on the pregame show for that. But it'll be that 4 o'clock to 6:30 lengthier pregame show, which with BYU should have plenty to talk about. I'm not going to lie. It's a little tough to get through it last week with Campbell. There's only so much you can say. But with BYU coming in, they're going to be ranked. Look, it's going to be 7:30, ESPN2. We hope all the Pirate Nation can make it out. We hope a decent amount of you can make it down to Conway. All you got to do is pay for your ticket and pay for your gas, right? Because that food, free 99 down there in Conway. I think you do still have to pay for adult beverages, but hey, little free food, little free soda, can't go wrong there. So wish I could make it down to Conway this weekend, but got other priorities, bigger things to go on in life than going to football games sometimes. So got that coming up this weekend. So we thank you guys all for tuning in to today's Patrick Johnson Show. We thank intern DeMarco for his work with the sound bites and playing our sound bites here today. Thanks to Jim Szoke for joining us. Thanks to PJ and everybody at Tiebreakers for letting him do the show from there. So that will wrap it up. Once again, we'll have Blake Harrell on tomorrow. All that and more on the Tuesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Stay tuned. Inside Pirate Athletics, top of the hour. Have a great rest of your evening, Pirate Nation.